Alright everyone, I am going to be showing you how to add questions to the application, how to add questions. There are two ways to add questions actually, either through the app or by using an Excel file. Alright, let me walk you through it. Remember the port is your IP address colon 2025. So click on, then you log in. When you log in, you get to this part. Then what you need to do now is to click on subject. When you click on subject, now this is where you can add new subjects, or if you already have an existing one, for instance, let's say it's all the same thing. I have this government, and then I can click on add new question. If I click on this, it pops up. You see we have a field where we can add new question. But if you don't have the subject on this table, you can create new subject. But just note that the subject name as a case, the application is case sensitive when it comes to the name of subject. For instance, if I create an English subject with a capital letter E and it's capital letter E, this is different from me creating a subject with a small letter E. So starting with small letter e or capital letter E, there are two different names in this application. So mind you, mind the name you use in creating the subject. Alright, so let's just take a demo. This is the first way of adding questions to this application. For instance, let's say I want to create a subject called civic education. So I can say civic education. I can create it this way and then click on add. Once I click on add, you can see that it becomes the first on my table here. So if I want to add questions, I just click on this plus sign. If I want to delete, I can delete, and I can see, click here to see the questions, number of questions I have added to the subject. But if I want to add question, I can come here and they say what is civic. So you can type the question here, and then if there's any diagram, you can click here to upload any form of diagram. But let's just say this. I'm just saying if there's any diagram, you can click there, and then once you click there and you put the picture, you are going to see a preview of that picture over here, a preview of that picture over here that you're about to upload for that subject. So then you can click, you can put the question saying, you can put the options for the questions. Civic is good for men. I am just writing, so it's just for there. You can put more options. Option B, option C, then option D. So this is how to create the question and the question to the subject. Then you put the correct answer here. If D is the correct answer, you just type in D, either small letter D or capital letter D. Any of them you type, you are good to go. But you don't say option D. You don't do anything like this. You don't do that. You don't do that. If you do that, it's going to throw an error. Let me just show you. If I click on upload, you see now answer must be a single letter, either ABC which is a small letter, or capital letter. So I'll just say D or capital letter D. So when I click on upload, you see your question has been added to civic education. So if I come here, you can see this is what we uploaded on this subject. If I click on, I can also edit it. If I click on this biro icon, you can see that I can edit everything that I made. If there is an underline that you want to use, if I underline, if I highlight civic, I can also click on this underline. You can see that it's going to automatically underline it for me. Or if I want to make something bold, I can highlight it and then click on bold, and then you see it is bold. If I have to label something like order something, you can see I can use this by clicking on this list. It's going to enable me to do some listing, and then all these changes that I've made, I can update the question. And if I update it, it stays there permanently. Let's just try it. If I go out, click on subject again, then click on view civic questions. If I come, so this is how to create your question on your subject one after the other. So if I want to add another question to the subject, to civic education, I'll click on this plus sign again and then come here and type in the question. You type in the question here. If there's a diagram, you click on here, add the diagram. Then you type in the option A here, and you type in the option B here. You type in option C here, and you type in option D here, and then the correct option. If it is D, you say D. If it is C, you say C. If it is A, you say A. And if you click on upload, you see I have it over here. So let me just collapse this. Click here. You see now I have it over here. And you can edit it again and then update it again. That is one way. Let's look at the other way of adding question to our subject. Alright, the other way of adding question to our subject is a little bit tricky, but it is very simple. It's either you create the subject first, then use Excel file to add the question, or you can just leave this and do it directly from Excel file. So I can come here, click on upload, and then we see samples of adding questions. This is for question, this is for students, to register students. So I can click on download the sample, then open up a sample, make it wide. You can see that I have English, which is the subject name. You can take this thing out. You can write the subject you want to. Let's say the subject is might or meat. So what will happen? We don't actually have meat as a subject in our application. So if I upload this file, what will happen is the application is going to look for this name, and if it is not there, it's going to create the subject and then add the questions to it. So you don't need to worry. So if you create the subject or not, it's still going to work. That is one thing. But if you create the subject, it is better you use the name of the subject, the exact name of the subject that you created. Like I just told you, it is case sensitive. All right, let's just say I have it to be meat, and the question I can say what is a boy, and then the option you put in, write in the option here. you also write in the option here and then the correct answer. Just download the sample and then you follow the sample. Just follow the sample to add the question. Then if you have more questions to ask, so you will continue. If it is the same subject, you continue by this. That's how you must drag the subject name. That's why in this file you can add 100 subjects. You can add different type of subjects in this same file. It is still going to work. You can use one subject, or you can add multiple subjects. It will still work. Let's say for instance maths 101. If it is English or any other subject that doesn't have maybe square roots and all those things to deal with, like raised to the power of 4, raised to the power of 5, all those stuff, you don't need to worry. Just type in the equation, like for this following this first example, just type in the equation and then that is all. But if it is mathematics that you need to add all those square roots and everything, it is a little bit technical, and it will feel like you are programming. Yeah, that is how you're going to feel like now. But please but please just bear with us. That is the only way we can achieve this. Okay, let me show you. For instance, let me say quadratic equation. I want to add a quadratic equation, which you know is x squared plus let me say 2x, like that. So if I want to do that, I can say, or say 2x. So the next number, this 2 here is supposed to be in square, but we are going to use something called tag. So I'm going to say angle bracket SUP, angle bracket, then the 2, angle bracket, forward slash SUP, angle bracket. That is all. What this means, it means that SUP means superscript. That is what it means. SUP means superscript. That means the browser will automatically format 2x to 2x squared. This 2x2 that we are saying now, because of the SUPT, the browser is going to raise that the number in that SUPT to a square, so it will be 2x squared in the browser. So that is what that it means. So 2x squared plus x plus 8. So let's say I'm just saying, okay, the equation option A. For instance, let's say sub uh, uh, like for in chemistry you have something like subscript, like there's a number that is kind of below the an alphabet. For instance A, and then we want it to be uh, let's say CO2 in chemistry, CO2, and let's say this 2 supposed to be a little bit below the CO. How do we do that? We are going to say bracket, angle bracket open, SUB, angle bracket close, then 2, angle bracket open, forward slash SUB, angle bracket close. So this means CO sub 2. So these 2 will be at the bottom of this CO. Then I'm just doing all this in all in one, so you can understand. Then you can just type in the other answers. So another tip, if your maths question has all those diagrams and the rest of it, what I will recommend for you is to upload that question. For instance, if this Number 4 question. If this thing is the question that has diagram that I need, maybe triangle, find the quadratic equation, or find the side of a triangle, of a rectangle. Let's say this is the question that has that diagram. What I need to do is to just copy. Sorry, it is stressful, but this is the only way out for now. You just copy the entire question. If the question is, don't worry, just copy the entire question. Copy the entire question. Let's save this file. Save. So I'm going to come here, click on collect to upload that file. This is the file. Upload it. And once I upload it, see, file uploaded successfully. If I go back to question, you see now I see math 101. I see meat. Are you seeing now? And if I click on to view question of this subject, you see I see what is a ball. I see the question there. Now this thing, this subject, we did not create it originally, but it was auto created because it was not on our application. So the application need to find that name and then create it by itself. Now if we click on view on this manual one, you see we see what I'm saying now. If I click on like to edit, you see now I get 2x squared, but from the Excel file it was not 2x squared. Actually I write 2x sub 2, then like that, but you see I got the correct thing I needed. So that was what I'm saying. Then you can come here, if like we were saying, if you want to upload a diagram and then you just wrote the questions like this, just copy the entire question, come here and then paste it. That question is going to search, is going to come out, and once it come out you just need to edit it and then click on choose diagram and upload. That is all, and then you can go ahead to set your exams. All right, so this is everything concerning uploading of question to your subject. Hope you find this thing very, very interesting. If you have any more questions, please try to reach out to me through my website or my number. God bless you. Thank you.